Hey there, Matt Gregory here. I'm super excited to get into this video, but before I start, I just wanted to talk about my prior video, which was my Papa Louie ranking. I put out that video last month, and it's easily one of my favorite projects that I've ever gotten to work on. I'm quite new to video editing on a greater scale, bigger than 10 minutes, no less 40, so my little summer project of teaching myself Premiere turned out to be a great success. I could have never imagined the outpouring of love that the video would eventually garner though, especially since I mainly posted it for my own satisfaction. I worked nearly a year, yes, a year, nearly to the day, to make it. I definitely plan to continue making videos in the future, including the ones I promised in the Papa Louie video, like talking about Jack Smith and Paleteria, but I'm also A, looking to try all sorts of videos and talk about many different games and stuff about games and whatnot, and I'm B, a busy college student trying to graduate. While the future of this channel is uncertain, as well as my own future, whatever I end up doing, I'll put my full into. Thank you to 1,000 subscribers, and doubly so for over 100,000 views on the Papa Louie video. I'll see you in whatever's to come, and for now, enjoy this video. I want to start this video off with a sort of preface. I'm not a competitive gamer. Sure, I play some competitive games here and there, a lot of teamfight tactics. I used to be big on League and Valorant, definitely not as much anymore. And I do play a ton of Pokemon, even if a lot more casually than people who play that game competitively, so on and so forth. Regardless, most of the games that I do enjoy are casual games, fun games, party games. One of these games, as it is for many a Switch owner, is Smash Bros. I would say on a skills scale of 1 to 100, I'm probably a 30 Smash Bros player. I'll curb stomp you if you hand me the controller at a party, and I'll probably hold my own, at least against my friends, who are mainly 40s and 50s, but I pale in comparison to people who know what they're doing, the 60s to 100s. I'm caught in a weird limbo between melee competition winning sweats and, just some innocent people at a party who don't really know which button the special button is, so I don't often seek out fighting games, or any games within the genre for that matter. Tekken, Multiverses, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Guilty Gear, whatever the hell the Nickelodeon one is, I usually just let them all pass. But I've held one of these games near and dear to my heart, and just recently it finally got its sequel. I am, of course, talking about Rivals of Aether 2. I want to talk about what it's like to enjoy a fighting game as a relatively casual player, especially in a time where more and more of these fighting games move out of the living room and into EVO right from the design stage. By all definitions, a game made by Melee fanatics for Melee fanatics, focusing solely on its gameplay and the competitive edge over a fun time with buddies on the couch, it shouldn't be a game that appeals to me in any respect. And yet, I've been raptured by it since I got my hands on it back in middle school. This is a video about Rivals of Aether 2 and why I think it's a fantastic game to play from the perspective of a casual gamer that plays competitive games. Before I move on straight to its sequel, it's worth talking about what this game is and how I discovered it. Rivals of Aether was a game informally launched in 2015, then later fully launched in 2017, made by Dan Fornace of Aether Studios. Fornace? I don't know. What little you need to know about him is that he's always been a video game developer engrossed by the platform fighting genre. And while he's worked on games of his own like Super Smash Lands, all the way to working on Ori and the Blind Forest, he's always been a talented programmer. Passionate about creating something that harkens for his love for Super Smash Bros. Games of the past, he began to work on a game that captured what he loved about the genre, mixed with a passion for elemental animals and creatures, dubbed Rivals of Aether. I discovered this game around middle school when a good friend of mine showed it to me claiming it was an awesome game, and I tried it. I sucked dick at it. Mind you, this was before I learned what a nair is, how good shielding and parrying are, and how not to fall off a stage all the time, but there was a connection I had with the game and I couldn't figure it out. It wasn't the funny, the Steam Workshop flood of characters wouldn't come out for another few years, it wasn't because I was good at the game, because, well, I wasn't, but there was something buried in this game that caused me to play it on and on, here and there. Hell, my enjoyment of this game, still the first game, somehow made it all the way to college, where when I would get tired of getting my ass handed back to me in rounds of Smash, I would pivot to Rivals, which I had recently bought on my Switch. My buddies, curious, would pick up the game and experience that same spark of magic that I did. With that introduction out of the way, we now go to Rivals of Aether 2, released finally on October 23rd of this year. Ditching the pixel aesthetic for something a little closer to 3D, Rivals 2 aims to truly graduate from being a sort of spiritual successor to fully embracing and advancing the genre. The game features 8 fan-favorite characters, rejuvenated for 3D, as well as 2 new characters, originating from the lore and side stories of the franchise, brought fully to life as fighters. The development team promises to bring 4 new characters in the coming year, and only time will tell who they will be. I personally hope one of them is Sylvanos, because I mained the fuck out of this little freak in the prior game. At launch, the game has the core fighting modes, and, well, that's about it. No minigames, no fluff, no story mode. It really is a fighting game you play with friends or online, and not much else. At least at launch, since we know we're getting most of those features and more down the line. While most companies would get panned to no end for doing so, everyone engaged in the crowd for this game is more than happy, and it's because of my main point of what makes this sequel, even right at launch, a fantastic fighting game. And it's simple. The fighting game is that good.
Dude, I don't like using the skin. I don't like you using the skin for him.
Oh, he's Dookie!
Brother! Brother! Stop farting everywhere!
No, brother! Brother, I can't help the gas! Brother, enough with this!
Brother, stay down.
Brother,
Oh shit!
Reggie once said, "The game is fun. If it's not fun, why bother?" And it could not be more true here. The feeling of actually getting to play this game now is immaculate, indescribable. So indescribable, I'm going to describe it right now. The fighting is incredibly rich in mechanics, especially those from games like Melee, but also reinvents the wheel where it can. Ledges finally arrive, wave dashing arrives, grabs arrive, all things missing from the original game, at least by modern industry standards, quote unquote. But along with it, pummel specials, ledge specials, recovery specials, air grabbing, ball chopping, all these new mechanics specifically help keep older characters fresh and new ones delightfully more complex. And that's just in the mechanical depth of the game, because I can't use some of those aforementioned tools well, but people who can, pop the fuck off. Waiting for my friend to get on when I launched the game, I made the mistake of attempting ranked. A mistake surely, seeing as the only people on the game right at launch were more than likely lunatics and competitive sweats and or people who had access to the demos or early access to the game. At least I held my own. I didn't win a single match. But I'm silver. Time to not play ranked again. But even so, watching my ass get kicked with so much precision, technological wherewithal, and grace among everything else made it a little more tolerable. Am I mad I didn't stand a single chance? Yes, I'm a bit miffed. I got my ass handed back and forward by a raster player. It was bad. That made me want to chuck the remote, but I got back up and played it with my friends in an independent lobby. And even if it was their first time playing Rivals, let alone the sequel, they definitely still had a high amount of prowess and skill expression. Definitely more than me, that's for sure. Take for example my friend Caden, who has a perfectly healthy little amount of time in Smash Bros.
Oh my goodness!
And who ended up sweeping? Somehow? Me. And it's not because of button mashing or being the better player, because I'm objectively not, but just because the game is easy to pick up like a good platform fighter should be, and hard as hell to master like a good competitive game should be. I mean, just look at some of the gameplay I've gathered.
Nice. Yeah.
Get out of here.
Oh, there's no more crag pillar. Oopsies.
You destroyed it, King. This one I won't let you.
I did destroy it. And nice.
Oh.
Dodge. Fucking dodge button!
Shoot my seed. They call him Gangsta Wolf with the seed.
That's why they call me Gangsta Wolf.
What's my seed button?
Try to combo to a FT on YouTube. What? Oh. Oh, damn! That was intentional. No, I knew what I did the second No.
I like the funny elephant because he reminds me of the funny penguin. At its core, Rivals 2 plays like butter. And even online in lobbies with strangers, I've had a great time. Even when I'm getting styled on in casuals, I manage to get on my feet and try my best to do better and get better at the game, and the game feels rewarding. Did I mention there's tons of free cosmetics you can unlock just by playing the game? And you can earn coins for a daily shop, which also just comes naturally with playing. And there's a battle pass that is fully free, and the items in it are later sent into the permanent shop, which you can use those coins on. You can use real money if you want to, so that Dan Fornace doesn't go hungry, which is a legitimate concern of the fan base when they found out how much freer this game is compared to its original. I can ramble aimlessly about how I like this game and how I'm super excited for its future, but before I close out said ramble, I just want to hone in on my point, my thesis if you will, about what makes this competitive heavy game such a blast to play, even for casuals like me. And I think it boils down to a few basic things. For one, I feel like the game is completely by design competitive and not by deletion competitive, which is a huge problem I have with Smash Bros. Sometimes. Smash Bros. Is a great game as it comes, but with all the items and stage hazards and nonsense the game throws at you, 99% of players get rid of it to have some semblance of equality and fair play. Do I understand them? Yeah, fully, 1000%. Some of that crap is bullshit. But there is a merit to playing the game as Goddaddy Sakurai intended, for fun. If my life wasn't surrounded by fighting game sweats at every corner, I'd happily play like I did again when I was 12, battling both my friends and the bullshit the game throws at me the whole time. Again, what I'm getting at is that the game has so much baked into it that is almost entirely ignored by most players who strive for less of a party game and more of a competitive game. Rivals 2 certainly presents itself with this lively, exuberant shell and a much more happier and colorful and whimsical game than, say, like, I don't know, Injustice or Multiverses, if I'm being honest. But while it looks like what base Smash feels like, it plays like what competitive people want Smash to feel like. I know this because I have a friend who plays a lot of games, and he really doesn't love more than half of them that he touches. And he's been non-stop saying he loves this game and that it feels great to play. My sample size is 2, suck an egg. This game was made to be competitive, and from the moment you pick it up, you're playing Rivals as God Dan Fornace intended it. And at the same time, it has the same thrill and excitement and whimsy as picking up Smash for the first time as a kid. Even the designs of the characters are so much more jubilant and absurd compared to most fighting game picks that either go for nostalgia bait or dreary-ass dark visuals or anime girls with big tits. We've got Water Puppy, Big Beetle, Evil Elephant Tyrant, and Jenga Hawk. Not only are a lot of these designs vaguely similar to Melee characters, that Melee sweats can hop off Melee and find these characters just right for them, but they're unique enough so that they're nowhere close to reskins, but fully lived characters. Every time I get reminded of the game, I just get excited imagining what this expansive, comprehensive world with these creatures inhabit is like. Which, you know, I don't have to like imagine there are 2 side games out and a dating sim for April Fools. That's apparently a full-fledged out thing, that's crazy. Honestly, I don't want to drag out an argument that I can make in a circle for any longer. I just want to tell you why you've got to check out this game. It's worth your time, and definitely your $29, which, you know, at the time of recording this, it might still be on sale for 10%, that's pretty cool. It's worth your time, be you a Smash sweat, or some casual like me who has a lot of fighting game addicted friends. And yes, I do recommend playing with your friends, with the incredibly good working online, or on a couch with your buds. And if you're all alone, the online isn't the worst in the world with strangers. Maybe not ranked like I tried, but you'll find your people in casual. Thank you for listening, and now watch this try.
I'm not getting hit by you one more time.
You're pathetic.
I'll play one more.